Welcome to Becoming Awesome with Peter D. channeling Gaia.
There was this group of religious fanatics who were totally frightened by all the earthquakes and cataclysms and storms that have been coming. So they got together and they went to the Geological Services offices, and then they went to the atmospheric science offices, and because they wanted to pray for relief, and they knocked on the door and they said, "Is this the order of magnitude?" Hey gang, I'm so happy that today we're going to be channeling Gaia. I've never done a public channel with Gaia. I speak with her. She's such a beautiful, beautiful, loving consciousness, and I'm happy to be able to share that with you all today. Before we get into it, please remember, this is a conversation. Put your comments below on anything that you learn or your comments and understandings you have from Gaia. Let's share it with everybody, okay? And here we go. Let's welcome in Gaia. Dearest children, thank you. Oh, we are so pleased. One, we are with you. Nothing is more beautiful and loving for us than to be in this space with you. And two, we're so happy that Peter has taken the time to actually channel for us. We want to reach you, and as many people who can be voice for our message, our love, we welcome. So let us get into this. We are going to speak to you a little bit about what we are, and then we're going to talk to you about how the 3 things we recommend that you can do to interact with us for more love, more joy, more healing for all of us. So let us begin. Now, people ask, what is Gaia? What are you? And many explanations are given, and they're mostly correct. If you can think of the consciousness that inhabits the earth, if you can think of this planet as a conscious living being, that is correct. But there is a deeper explanation we would like to share with you. And it's about collectives. Each different group of consciousness has its own entity, if you want to use that expression, has its own consciousness that governs it. The fundamental rule that Peter was taught was that consciousness plus energy determines the nature of reality. And that is true. If you build a wood pile, there's a consciousness associated with it because you had to organize the wood pile. That was what we would call a deva if you could talk to that consciousness. If you create a property line, that's a deva there. Anything you do with consciousness creates its own entity. Now, you, of course, as a human being, are a consciousness. And every consciousness that you share is part of the group consciousness known as humanity. So there's like a deva or a deity or a divine that is the group of all humans. Now, every group has its own consciousness. The cats have a deva, a group consciousness. The minerals on the planet have a collective, a group consciousness. Anything has its group consciousness. I, Gaia, am the collective of all these collectives. So I am the consciousness of all that inhabits the earth, all that is the earth, not just the minerals of the planet, not just the gases that create our atmosphere, but all of the consciousness that goes with that, and all of the entities that have come into manifested physical form and their consciousnesses. That is all me. So when I say you are my children, quite literally, you are. Now, this does not mean that I birthed you. No. Source is what birthed you. But your collective togetherness is what birthed me. Now, that's the old conundrum of chicken and egg. If you have a chicken and you have an egg and you say, which came first? Well, welcome to the mystery of all that is. And that space and time is more magnificent and has no rules that you can really understand in this 3D reality. So let us just say that you are my children, I am your mother, but it may just well be true that you as children birthed me as much as I as a mother birthed you. So that is who we are, the collective. And now we'd like to speak to you a little bit about how to interact. We're going to talk about how to love, how to allow, and then how to receive in ways that interact with us and can benefit you in the most in understanding your place in this collective. Because when we say that you are part of this collective, that means you are a fractal, and that everything I contain, you contain. So it works both ways, like the chicken and the egg. So let us figure out how we can be in best connection with each other. The first point is love. You understand in all your romantic literature about the power of love, and you understand in all your spiritual literature that love is where most of your religions lead you to. You understand even in healing the power of the emotion of love, what it can do for your physical bodies. You have these understandings. We want you to apply that to your entire life. You see, many of you are connected with us, and you feel the pain that we feel when disaster and ecology seems to be crumbling around you. And you worry about the issues of whatever your scientists or your media decides that you should worry about at the time, whether it's global warming or fracking or deforestation or all the pollution in the ocean. We can go on and on. Now, we're pointing this out to you because many of you suffer with this. And we're here to say, maybe you should consider loving what you are feeling. Yes, one of the reasons we're very happy that this channel, Peter, is carrying this message for us today is that he is one of the people who is on earth now teaching, as he likes to say. He's so happy now he wants us to say it, so we're going to say it clear, clear, clear. Identify what is in you and clear it. So if you're feeling pain about some ecological problem, then it is your pain that can be worked on, fully expressed, release it, turn to bliss. It leaves the field, it leaves the planet, and uplifts you and uplifts everyone. Now, many of you get stuck. You get overwhelmed by how much devastation there is, because that's what humanity has been working on, is being devastating. And so you just get stuck in the pain. And so you'll not deal with it. And of course, now this is the time of the ascension. It's coming to the planet. It's already happened for me. I'm just trying to do the best to slow it down and help you come along. Because I don't want to leave anybody behind. It's not like you'll be left behind. It's just you'll choose that the energies are no longer a match for where you are with your consciousness, and you'll leave the collective. Physically, you'll leave the planet through passing away, and then you'll move your consciousness to wherever is more aligned with you. But we're moving into ascension, and we want to bring all of you along, so we're going at a time and space that's going to allow you to come with us. Now, to do that, you have to be in this higher density, and that's why Peter teaches, and why we're happy to give you this channel about clear, clear, clear. The rule is to understand that as without, so within. As within, so without. Perfect reflection. So if you're seeing devastation around you, then that devastation means you're feeling it on the inside. There's devastation within you, in your unconscious, somewhere in your being that's suppressed, that needs to be dealt with. Your own hurts and pains are reflected on the outside. And if you deal with your own hurts and pains, then you actually release a lot of what's creating the energetics on the outside that looks devastating to you. So we want to give you this example. If you have a child at a party and it's all angry and complaining, and then all these other kids are just having fun and playing, and the angry child's like, oh, but they did this and they're doing that and that's not right. What do? You want that child to be happy and play, but first it has to process its anger. You don't have it organize what everyone else is doing. Now you're saying, oh, but that's not how it is. There's all this devastation. Look at the pollution. Look at the smog. We can see it. We can feel it. Well, yes, there is. But one thing is, you're vastly underestimating me. Do you not think I cannot handle that? Do you realize that this is the 5th go-around of humanity on Gaia here, me? The other 4 were not successful. And what happened to them? You know about ice ages. You know about meteors hitting the planet. You know about the Great Flood. You know these things. Those were resets. That is just a limit, or not a limit, an example of what is available to me and the amount of power I have. If I need help from your star brothers and sisters, and when I say star brothers and sisters, I don't mean aliens and ETs, I mean the actual planets and suns. If I need their help, they will help me. I am not a weakling here. Now, you're saying, oh, but this is so bad, all this devastation. You're like the little child who's at the party, and instead of being happy with the beauty and the cake and the ice cream, they're upset about what's not working out in their design. If you feel the pain of all this devastation and pollution, clear it in yourself. And then it will no longer be in the external to power those who are of lower density and creating all these bad things. They're going to be leaving the planet soon anyway, because they're not going to be able to keep up with the vibration as I allow the ascension to come to you. So the question is, do you want to go on the ride or do you want to be fighting? And if you keep the fight going on, oh, I'm the good fight, I'm the eco warrior, I'm stuck in fracking, I protested this, I protested that, then you're going to be in that lower vibration. And I really don't want you there. I want you to come on the ride with me. Now, this is not to say you don't take responsibility for what you're doing for your own life. Are you being as ecologically sound as you can be? Are you being as kind to the environment, to the planet, to the animals as you can be? And are you owning that as within, so without? Remember, you're part of a collective. So if humanity is doing this to me, then you're part of the group that is doing it to me. So what is it inside you that's propelling it? Heal that. Don't be distracted by the external fight. This is why we said our first point is love. Actual love. And if you're in conflict to fight for love, then that's not love. You know, that was an old energy. The father warriors, this channel Peter has heard it called. I don't like using that directly because it applies a sexual difference, which is not correct. But there is a group of warriors that are aligned with a certain energy. And they think the solution is getting everything in order and fighting for it. And yet that is what is causing the devastation. So don't be that kind of warrior. Be the kind that conquers yourself. Masters internally what you're holding so we can release this all for the planet. You know, I have the ability to heal. And I will. So do you kind of understand that there's some allowance here? It's not I'm the victim here. I have been allowing to a large extent this to take place because this is your opportunity for transition, and this is setting you up to move into these higher densities so that we can all be enjoying this frequency of ascension. That's a different take, isn't it? And again, we're not saying don't shirk your responsibility and go out and just start wildfires and do pollution. No, of course you clean it. Of course you help make it better. And you don't do that in a way that fights externally. You do that in a way that's internal first. Then you can apply it to the external world. So that is our first point that we wish to share with you. After the point of love, we wish to talk to you about the point of allow. Allow. Yes, you see, in 3D, you set your goals and you all work hard. And it's quite miraculous that anything works when you have this many billion people on the planet and they're all goal-oriented and they're all doing their thing. No wonder you've created certain collectives of individuals who decide that they can use their power to collect finances and collect control and do horrible things, right? How else is it going to work when you have that many going all against each other with their individual goals? And so, of course, they teach you through your media and everything, this is the right way to be. I am a good citizen. I am contributing. Look at me. I voted. Or whatever it is that you do. And that's all okay. But it's all 3D. Now, in 5D, there's more allowance. You see, this channel has liked to say in the past that intent can bite you in the butt in 5D. Because what you're holding unconsciously gets manifested more easily. Which is why we did the first point. You do your clearing. And one of the reasons we're so happy to have Peter here talk for us, with us, through us, is that he is one of the people who've produced many, many tools to help you clear. And most of them are free on his website. He and his beautiful wife. So yes, we're happy to give you that. Now, so you do your clearing and you don't have this unconscious manifestation coming forth. That gives you more room to allow. You see, as you become part of a higher frequency, you become more aware of your place in the collective and how it's all interlaced and all interconnected. And you start to do what you do more with guidance. Now, this is not the 3D guidance. Oh, Spirit, tell me what to do. It's like, oh, that so keeps you as a child, right? And I love your children, but do you love your children too? I mean, I love you as children, but do you love your children all the time when they're just all crying and nagging, Mommy, help me, Mommy, do this, Mommy, right? Do you love them at that time? Yeah, of course you do. So I love you too. And as you grow and mature, you start to gain responsibility. Don't show me what to do. You relax and allow the information of the field to come into you, and you see your place and you see, oh, I can thrive doing this. And you don't have to do anything. It's free will, it's free choice, but you're presented with a whole array, a menu of beautiful dishes on the buffet that can be fulfilling, and you pick the ones you like, and it fits into the framework of a collective now. So yes, you're going to graduate into this allowance. And part of that will be you understanding that you are this beautiful part of a collective. And that's when synchronicity comes to you. Miracles, as you call them, will come to you. Because you allow them. Because you're in flow. Because you understand that. Because you've done your internal work and you've cleared. And that's the first point, was the love. And the second point is then you see that this is what allowing is, which is when you stop the fight, stop pounding, oh, you must do this because it's ecologically right. No, you do it internally for yourself. You do it in your own actions. And then there may be groups that present themselves that give you opportunity to shift and guide what's going on the planet. And you'll find that those groups are usually not in opposition to something, but in collective creating something. Oh, let's do a cleaning method. Oh, let's do a new free energy method. Let's do something that is more ecologically sustainable. And that's where the change comes. So our second point is allow. And our third point is receive. Now, receiving can be a physical thing, like you get a present and you open it up and you enjoy it and you play with it. It's a beautiful thing. You unwrap it, gift wrapping and everything. It's a present. The other way we wish you to focus on receiving is your mentality. What can you allow? There's a lot of structure that's been put into place for training you to be a certain way and act a certain way. And that training keeps you stuck in a reality, a timeline, as it is called. It keeps you there. And the timelines, as you see when you look out around you, a lot of them are not very pretty. So how do you then get to where you receive the timeline that is more joyous, where it is more harmonious, and we are acting like a collective that is flowing with love, rather than a collective that's fighting itself, right? You see the analogy of when your immune systems go off and start attacking yourself. You've seen diseases that were created and and unleashed on the planet to do that, where your own immune system attacks you. Yes. And you have, that's basically what's going on in the collective, as within, so without. So how do you get to the point where all the pieces of the collective are working together? And that is what we want you to consider when we say receive. You have to have a mental allowance for this, an ability for your mind to let that be okay, so that you can drop the unconscious blockages holding you in the timeline that is not okay. So, how can you do this? Well, one of the things I recommend is just go out into nature. Pull yourself away. First of all, stop consuming mass media. That's the programming. As you do your clearing, you're going to have to start questioning everything you were taught, everything you were raised with, everything society says about what's the role of a man or a woman, or how does money work, or all that stuff. You're going to have to question it all the way back. That's going to happen. So how do you learn what you can then receive? It's already there in nature. If you can go out into nature and just spend time sitting, connecting, be in communion with, you will start to, one, just feel better, because that's the healing power of me, because you're allowing it to come in. So that's a receiving. But also there's the imprinting that's going on the unconscious levels. And that is you saying, oh, look, here's a whole ecosystem that's harmonious. Look at how it works. You don't have to figure it out. That's mental. That keeps you in 3D. You just sit in its presence because you're in nature and you're allowing it. And you'll start to get this connection of, oh, this is what receiving looks like. You know how you can see a forest of aspen tree and understand it's one entity, it's one tree. But that's not all. You could look at the mycelium, all the network of fantastic fungi that is in the planet. And basically, it's one entity. And we're talking planetary wise. So it understands. How do you think trees over here know what trees over there need? They communicate. And energetics are sent. And your scientists are starting to figure this out. There's all kinds of beautiful movies talking about the connectiveness. You've seen it. When a flock of birds turn as one, a school of fish move as a unit. You've seen this. So the more you can put yourself in nature, the more you can allow that. Don't think it. Don't try to explain it. You know, you can start by watching nature shows on TV. It doesn't have to be terrible. You may want to turn the sound off because the narrator wants to tell you a story about how it's really right, you know, in their point of view, and not what the collective unconscious is doing of these animals as they interact with each other and support each other, when it may look like they're fighting and sacrificing one another for food. But that's not really the full story. That's your 3D explanation to keep your narrative, to keep your mind in place. It's bigger than that. If you can't get out into nature and start to allow it, which we recommend, there's pets. They are animals, but they are with you. Your own scientists will tell you that people who have pets live longer. They are less lonely. Why is that? Connection and community. So if you can get into that, you're going to be practicing receiving, even though it'll be a very subtle, energetic level of just the love of that animal and your bond with it. You're already starting to experience what it's like to receive, what it's like to allow yourself to be part of the community, the collective. So there you have it. Receive. See whatever mental resistance you have. Why can it not be paradise? Why is it already not Shambhala, Shangri-La? Why is it not Eden? Look in the mirror. You see it around you. It's going to trigger you. Then you will clear that. And then you go right back into the place of allow and receive. The more you clear, the more you're going to understand the truth of our words, not just as words, but as an energetic uplift. So please, just take with you, when you're out in nature, when you're with your pet, there is a connection. this connection is affecting me and that it's teaching me, and I allow it. I receive it. I am part of the joy of it. I'm not infighting with anyone or anything. In this moment, I am connected to all of Gaia, all of humanity, all of the species and consciousnesses that inhabit this planet. That is who you are. That is who we are. We are part of you. You are part of me. Enjoy it. Okay, Gaia. Woo! Wow. All right, so yeah, I don't even know how to do that. It's like we're a collective of collectives, and we have our place in all of this, and she is us, and we're her, and who knows who came first. Man, my head's exploding. Oh, but that's okay, because the rules were love, allow, receive. It's not that hard. It means stop fighting, even fighting for Gaia. And then do the internal work instead of the outward fight. Turn it in. Do the internal work of, well, what is upsetting me? What am I in conflict with? Clear that so it's no longer propelling the energetics around you that is attacking Gaia. And understand, oh my God, how powerful she is. Healing of the planet. Like that. Whew. I'm so excited for all this to unfold. You can too. All right, so Earth lovers, share this video, please. Put your comments below. Any miracles you have, connection you have with Gaia. Let's all learn from each other. And please like and subscribe. All right, gang. Many blessings. Talk to you soon.